Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto was separated from his family, and it's going to be a 1 hour long. So yeah, let's get on with our story. And if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's continue our story. Is there a problem? Minato asked as he entered the room and hugged his wife. Nothing. In fact, it's the opposite. Something good has happened. What is it, Imoto? Kaede asked as he also entered the room. The Kazekage has approved of our proposed alliance with them. We are now allies with the Sunagakure. He also requested for an audience with us. We're going there now. I see, that was fast, Minato commented. Indeed it is, Kaede agreed. We gave them everything that will convince them to ally with us. But yes, I didn't expect their answer within this week, the Uzukage said as she made three Kage bunshin. I'll leave you three here. One of you do the paperwork. One of you go and check on Naruchan. One of you will call the council meeting and inform them of the good news. You can trust us on that, Tatebane. Kushin nodded at the three clones. She looked at her husband and her brother and nodded to both of them. Let's go. The three vanished in a yellow flash as Minato did the Harishin. Back at Sunagakure, the Kazekage was still in his office and was anxiously pacing the floor. It had been almost 15 minutes since he flared his chakra on the ring. He stopped and went to drink a glass of water and then went back to his pacing. Suddenly, there was a familiar flash of yellow. Greetings, Kazekage Dono. The Kazekage stopped in his tracks and now stood facing his three newly arrived guests. His eyes widened as he gazed landed on the woman who greeted him. Next, he stared at another person with her and noticed that they looked alike. Lastly, his gaze went to the other person standing beside the woman. He almost had a heart attack as he gaped at the man with yellow hair, blue eyes, and was wearing a long white coat with flames designed on the bottom of it. He looked like he had seen someone risen from the dead, in which of course he has. Kushina, Uzumaki, Minato. The Suna leader stuttered as he unconsciously took a step backwards. Luckily, he fell on his chair as he was still gawking at the two. You, the Kazekage was normally the silent type of person, but this was the first time he had been dumbfounded, speechless. His three guests were trying their best to not laugh despite the funny looks the Kazekage was giving them. Thankfully, they were able to keep their impassive looks, as it would most likely offend the Sona leader if they laughed at him. The man slowly recovered himself as he took another glass of water to calm his nerves. I can't believe it, he whispered to himself, but enough for his guest to hear. He cleared his throat and politely asked his guest to take a seat. Kazekage Tono, how are you feeling now? Kushina asked as she was a bit concerned with the man. The Yondam Kazekage cannot die yet. They still have plans for him. It would totally suck if he died because of his heart failing. I think I'm better now. Thank you, Zukage Tono. Let's just say I wasn't that prepared enough to see you, especially the Yondam Hokage, since everyone knew he died 4 years ago. I read the files about what has transpired 4 years ago, and to be honest, I had my doubts everything written there was true. We understand, Kazekage Dono. It will be really hard for people to believe about our existence, but here we are. I apologize for having doubts on you, my allies. Assure you I will not doubt the power of the Uzumakis ever again. The Yondam Kazekage said as he bowed. It is alright, Kazekage Dono. We didn't take any offense. The man nodded as he took another glass of water and offered three more glasses to his guest. His nurse finally calmed down as he cleared his throat and went to the business. I thank you for coming in a short notice. As the leader of this village, I formally welcome you to Sunagakure. I asked for you here since I wanted to meet and greet you personally. Kazekage Dono, I thank you for inviting us here. More importantly, Uzushi Gakure thanks you for agreeing to our proposed alliance. We hope that our village will become strong and in partnership and friendship. Our alliance will definitely help us in a lot of aspects. Also, I would like to introduce you to my elder brother Kaide. He is the head of the storm and was also made the leader of the Lost Maelstrom search and rescue mission. Please, pleased to meet you, your acquaintance Kaide-san. The Kazekage said as he bowed to the man, still stuttering somewhat. Uzukage Dono, you are welcome here since we are allies. Now, Sunagakure also thank you for the surge of missions we are having. Earlier, before I found about the truth about Uzushi, I was just finished signing off papers and assigned missions to my shinobi. They were to leave in 3 hours time, but then I now realized missions had to be delayed when I saw the documents after I signed the contract. I immediately ordered my envoy to put the village on a lockdown. When I finished reading, I thought of introducing you to the village as soon as new ally, since I already had the village put up on a lockdown and nobody is getting in or out of the village. My shinobi who were out thankfully just made it in time, and all shinobis and civilians of Sunagakure is inside the village. We have no outsiders or visitors at the moment except the unwanted guests. I'd be glad if you could grant my request, as it will be also easier to explain to the villagers. If not, then it is fine. I'll understand if you wish to keep your village existence hidden. After all, every village has enemy spies lurking around inside it, blending in with the populace. I'm glad you thought ahead of it. I was actually about to ask you if we could introduce ourselves to the populace of Suna as their new ally. If you were feeling trouble about the spies planted in them, we can take care of it. It will be easier since the village is already on a lockdown. The Kazakage perked up upon hearing this. How do you plan on doing that without alerting them? Simple, we'll execute them all at the same time. The Uzumaki has its own way dealing with unwanted guests. That is why we are able to stay hidden from the world for 5 years without knowing or troubling anyone. I would like to ask your permission to get rid of all the unwanted guests here. I'm asking for your permission because the process will be very bloody. If it is for the good of my village, of course I will have no problems with it. What do you need? More blood, actually. What we are about to do is a kinjutsu, as it requires a lot of blood. The seal we applied on the contract was also a kinjutsu, which is why I asked for your permission. You're going to have to spill a large amount of blood on the floor. You do not have to worry about suffering blood loss. We have taken precautions for that, as we have brought blood pills. We are actually planning on eliminating all spies here when we answer your call. If you were wondering why it had to be your blood, it is because you are the leader of this village. When Uzushio Gakure dealt with the traitors, my father also did this ritual, as he was the Uzukage at the time. Now you do not have to worry about your blood spilling and going all directions. With the jutsu ongoing, it should stay in one place. You'll see and understand once we do it. I see. I do not have any problems with it. I trust highly on your skills. Well then, let us get started then. The Uzukage thanked him for the praise. She then nodded, and her two companions went to their positions. The Kazakage was in the middle, being surrounded by the three in a triangular formation. Kazakage, when you see a triangular seal form, wait for a blood katana to appear. Then take it and use it to stab yourself on the heart. When the seal glows blue, use the katana and draw the kanji or for barrier on your four directions: north, east, south and west. When you are done, stab the chi bunshin on the heart that will later appear using the katana. Wait for all the blood to dissipate and then finally stab the spot where the blood clone once stood with the katana. That's fucking brutal. The Kazakage chuckled, commenting on the complicated process of the jutsu. He then nodded, signaling them he was ready. The three people surrounding him nodded and went into a series of hand seals before calling on the name of the jutsu. Uzumaki Secret, Blood Seal, Cleansing and Protection of the Populace. The air in the room became heavy as a circle appeared on each of them and started to connect with each other. Soon there was a yellow glow as the triangle formed. The color slowly changed color until it stopped on the blood red. A triangular barrier then appeared by the seal, trapping the four people inside. Soon a blood katana appeared in front of the Kazakage. He then took it and stabbed himself on the heart with it. He was surprised when he did not feel any pain. He only felt a pulling sensation from the katana. The katana sucked the blood out from the man, and the blood stayed on the tip of the handle. A few minutes later, the blood started to take on a form. It took about 10 minutes before the blood clone fully materialized. It looked exactly like the Kazakage. The seal started to change its color once again and slowly turned into blue. He unstabbed himself and began drawing the kanji for barrier on his four directions. When he was done, he raised the katana and stabbed the Chibanshin. The Chibanshin screamed and the exploded, splattering all directions with blood. The blood that splattered slowly dissipated into smoke. Soon the area was once again clear. The Kazakage then stabbed the floor using the katana. The seal started to glow brightly and changed into a color green. Soon the glowing slowly stopped. The seal vanished as the lines making the triangle unconnected until there were only circles surrounding them. Soon the circle also vanished and they felt the air go back to normal. The process took almost half an hour. The Kazakage felt lightheaded. The Uzukage approached the Suna leader and slapped her hands on his chest. Fuin, healing! The Kazekage then felt better thanks to the seal. Kaede handed him three pills and a glass of water. He gratefully accepted and he took the pills. He felt more dizzy and a minute after taking the blood pills. Kazekage Dono, please sit down for now. You feel very dizzy for a few minutes because of the blood pills regenerating your lost blood. He followed her advice and went for his seat. His three guests also took theirs as they waited for him to feel better. After about 10 minutes, he nodded to them, signaling them he was alright. Kai! Kushina, Minato, and Kaede shouted. Moments later, screams of agony were heard throughout the village. All unwanted guests inside Sunagakure felt like their hearts had been stabbed and let out piercing screams as their bodies exploded into blood and gore. The people that were around watching in horror as the streets were splattered with blood and flesh remains. Soon it slowly dissipated into smoke. Ah, finally. That was tiring, the yellow flash commented. Indeed. The Kazekage agreed. Kazekage-dono, you should release the seal now and call everyone for a meeting. We'll go back to Uzushio-gakure and let you explain things to your villagers. When you and your people are ready, clear your chakra on the ring and we'll arrive shortly. Now you will not have to worry about unwanted ears hearing what you'll tell your people. Also, no more unwanted guests will be able to enter this village because of the barrier seal. They will die on the spot. You will be able to collect their bodies for your use or whatever you wish to do with them. There will be no traitors from the inside because as soon as someone decides to betray the village, they will face the same fate the spies have met. Oh, before I forgot, here are the scrolls, the Uzukage said as she handed the Kazekage a scroll. He then opened it with a used smoke. Wait, don't! The woman tried to warn him, but she was a bit too late. The Kazekage widened his eyes as hundreds of scrolls came pouring out from the scroll that just opened. What are these? The Kazekage Dono are the memories of all those who died earlier from the ritual. It would seem that this village had hundreds of unwanted guests. I'm sure they will be very useful. I also have copies of them so we could find out where they came from and what they knew. Since we are allies now, you do not have to worry about us gaining knowledge from them. Good luck sorting them out. Each person have the number of scrolls depending on their age. Say for example, a spy is 50 years old. There will be 50 scrolls for that person. Each scroll has their name and age. Sorting them out will not be hard to understand, the Kazekage said as she tried to stifle her laughter. This is going to be troublesome, the man grumbled. Well, she did warn you, Minato said as he too was trying not to laugh. But she was too late. Don't worry, I'll leave you some clones to help you sort them out, Kushina said as she made 12 shadow clones. We'll take our leave, Kazekage Dono. We'll see you again later on. Okay, thank you. The Kazekage shook hands with the three of them as he thanked them. Moments later, they were back to Uzushio-gakure in a flash of yellow lightning. Let's get these sorted out, he told the clones as he grabbed a scroll. 1.5 hours later, finally. That's taken care of. Thank you for your help. I'll clear my chakra on this ring when I have finished explaining things to my countrymen. Will do. We will let the boss know, the clones said as they dispelled themselves and the memories were transferred to the original. The Kazekage then went to remove the privacy seals he placed on the room earlier. You only have less than an hour to explain before the supposed departure of the teams for the missions. I guess the missions will have to be delayed for 2 hours, huh? He thought as he finished removing the seals and opened the door of his office. Immediately, an Anbu captain came in front of him, kneeling. Sir, there had been multiple deaths across the village while you were inside. Their deaths were gruesome. They suddenly screamed and their bodies exploded. Thankfully, you have ordered us earlier for a lockdown, and we are still trying to find out the one who did the brutal killings. Cancel the search. Do not worry about them. I am aware of the killing earlier, sir. Also, Counselor and Captain Yura is one of those who had been murdered, sir. Yura? Well, that's news to me. I should have known he was a traitor. He was acting rather odd. Oh well, he's been taken care of. The Kazekage simply shrugged. Sir? The Hanbu was totally confused but about their leader. He didn't make sense. Do not worry about it now. I want you to alert all the villagers, shinobi and civilians alike. I want everyone gathered outside the Kazekage mansion in 30 minutes. I have something of importance to announce. All missions that have been assigned will have to be delayed for about 2 more hours. Hi. 30 minutes later, there was a lot of murmuring from the crowd. Many were still shaken from what they had witnessed earlier. The sudden deaths really scared them. A lot of them were worried that they were the next village being targeted by the same unknown people who attacked Konoha. Finally, their questions will be answered, as they knew the Yondam Kazekage was now on his balcony answering their call. His children also looked confused as they too have no clues of what was going on. They stopped their murmurings when their leader raised his hands. People of Sunagakure, first of all, I assure you that you have nothing to worry about. The sudden deaths of about 100 people earlier were not the doings of the enemy. Their deaths were for the good of the village. I know many of you were probably close friends or acquainted with them, but you had no idea they were spies. Yes, those who died earlier were spies. I, with the help of three other people, did a ritual that got rid this village of unwanted guests and also placed a barrier seal that will immediately kill future spies that will be sent here. Many of them were shocked by the revelation. Some of them who knew the people who died were saddened as they knew discovered they were spies. They felt like they had been cheated by them. Some were angry for the betrayal of their trust and were now satisfied by their deaths. The Kazekage continued. Now what I'm about to tell you next must be kept a secret, and for only the people of Suna are we clear? Hi, the crowd replied, even though many of them were confused. You all know about Konoha making negotiations with us for an alliance, right? Many of the shinobi nodded, as well as some of the civilians. Now I'm going to tell you that I'm putting up the ongoing negotiations to an end. We're not allying with Konoha. Why, you ask? One of the three people with me earlier informed me that Konoha planned treachery against us. When we approved of their alliance with them, Konoha planned on spilling our secrets to the other nations, thus making our country the easy target. We were about to follow that what has happened to the Uzushio Gakure. You all people know that Konoha and Uzushio were once allies, but the latter was destroyed. I have the documents that will prove they were betrayed by Konoha. I was shown the documents of the report during Uzushio Gakure's supposed downfall. The Leaf conspired with Iwa, Kumo, and Kiri and tried to eliminate the Uzumaki clan. They also kidnapped Kushina Uzumaki's infant child and made the 2 days old baby the Jinchuriki of Kyubi no Yoko the night it attacked Konoha. The Leaf will do the same to Suna if we approved of the alliance. They will take our Jinchuriki and make him their own. Gaara looked horrified when he heard his father. Temari and Kankuro looked concerned for their little brother. They went back to listening to their father as he continued to speak. With that revelation, I am going to state Konoha as a neutral country for now. In the coming years, I will finally add it to the enemies list. Now all dealings with Konoha will be ended. There will be no more trade or other friendly terms with them. If you see someone from that village, be it a shinobi or a civilian, ignore them. I am going to be strict with this. Do not make any contact with them. Now I know many of you are disappointed because the alliance with the strongest village is now void. But you do not have to worry about it, for we are now allied with a stronger village. About a week ago I received a letter from an unknown sender. The letter told me that Sunagakure will have a surge of missions in a few days. A few days later, Konoha was attacked by these still unidentified people. Today I received a second letter from the same unknown sender. They revealed themselves to be the ones responsible for attacking the Leaf. They also offered an alliance with us. They were the ones who presented me the documents about Konoha's planned betrayal against us and their betrayal to Uzushio. What we are going to tell you next will be a class double S secret, and only the people of Suna are supposed to know this. Anyone spilling it to the outsider will immediately face death. Am I clear? The Kazekage asked. He stared at the crowd seriously, sending amount of killing intent. Understood. Hi. Good, Mabarthin. Please meet our new allies. Meet the leader of Uzushio Gakure, he declared while sending a flare of chakra in his ring. No less than 3 seconds later, there was a flash of yellow. The crowd had their jaws dropped on the floor as they stared at the people who they believed were now dead. They almost shit themselves as they watched Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze smiling and waving at them. For the next hour, the Uzukage, the Yondam Hokage, and with the help of the Yondam Kazekage, the truth about Uzushio Gakure were revealed and explained to the populace of Suna. The alliance between both villages were also explained. Gaara felt happy when he heard about the Uzukage personally requesting him to be brought to her village and let him stay there for at least 5 years. His sibling Temari and Kankuro also felt happy for their little brother. They will not have to worry about assassins being sent for Gaara. Sunagakure thanked their new allies for the huge favor they will had done for their village. They revealed about Konoha and also a surge of missions. They will also now look forward to their village becoming stronger in the next years. Uzukage Dono. Once again, Sunagakure, thank you for everything you have done. I will talk with my children about sending them to your country. Please accept my call in a week. I also thank you, Kazekage Dono. Having sent your children to us will be a very good for my son Naruto. They shook hands and they parted. Minato was still receiving funny looks from the most of the crowd. He chuckled to himself as he grabbed his wife by the hips and Hirashin back to the Uzushio Gakure. Naruto was still in the room reading. He has already finished reading From Man to Shinobi, The Birth of Ninshu, Hagoromo Otsutsuki Rokude no Sainin, The Great Shinobi War, and was just about to finish reading the Second Shinobi War. He learned about the founder of Ninshu and Hagoromo's family. Everything started when a female warrior stole a fruit from the god tree, which later became enraged and started killing of people to reclaim its stolen power. This era was referred to as War of the Gods. When the Rakuto Sanin battled the Jubi with his Rinnegan and managed to defeat it, Hagoromo then divided the power of the Jubi into nine. There the tail beasts were born, ranging from 1 to 9 tails. According to the Great Shinobi War, the tail beasts were captured and was used as a means by the Shirodai Hokage for peace negotiations. He was able to capture them using his Mokuton abilities and distributed it to the other nations to balance the power. The nine tails, however, was the only one the Hokage wasn't able to capture, as he cannot find it. Time passed and the beasts did not like being controlled, so they rampaged. The leaders of the respective villages decided to seal them into human beings. The people who held a tail beast inside them were referred to as Jinchuriki. During the Second Shinobi War, a konoichi named Mito Uzumaki, who was also the first Uzukage, was able to capture and seal Kyubi inside her on the night it attacked her village. Later, it was found that the Kyubi had been controlled by the rogue second founder of Konoha, Uchiha Madara, by using the Sharingan and set it to attack Uzushiogakure. After the incident, the Shodai Hokage proposed an alliance with the Uzushio by marriage, to which the Uzukage agreed. The two countries then became allies as the Shodai Hokage and the Shodai Uzukage got married. Later on, because of her old age, Mito transferred the Kyubi to her great-granddaughter, Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto suddenly snapped his book shut and grabbed a pen and paper and wrote Rinnegan, Uzumaki clan, and Jinchuriki. He brought a pen and a notebook with him. He also left his room and dashed off to the library. He went to the front desk and presented the paper to ask for assistance. A librarian led him into the private table and told him to wait as she went to find the books related to the three topics he wrote down on the paper. A few minutes later, the librarian returned and handed the basket of books to him. Wow, there's too many. I will be here for a while, Naruto thought as he took a book and began scanning it. He looked for something important and began jotting down notes on his notebook. The Rinnegan, or the Samsara Eye, is the dojutsu of the Sage of the Six Paths, who was also known as Hagoromo Otsutsuki. The Rinnegan was first wielded by Hagoromo. He was known as the Rokudo Sanin because the Rinnegan has 6 realms and an outer realm. The animal realm of Chikosu Hodo grants the Rinnegan user the ability to summon various animals and creatures to aid him in battle. The summons are immortal and can be summoned against once it has been defeated or killed in battle. Summoning creatures do not require hand seals or seals. The animal paths also grant the users the ability to summon people using hand seals or signs. The Asura path, Demon Realm, or Shurado grants the user the ability to summon or create various weapons and armors. The weapons made by the Asura path are very strong. It can easily cut through normally crafted weapons. The user can also make his skin his own armor by hardening it. The Diva path, God Realm, or Tendo, grants the user the ability to manipulate force and gravity. Using Tendo's skill have a minimum of 5 seconds interval depending on the strength of the Dojutsu user. Odi Hagoromo Suzuki has been known who can use the Diva path without the 5-second interval penalty. The Human Realm, or the Ningendo, grants the user the ability to read the minds of any target. The user can also extract the soul of the target and gain all of its memories, but with the cost of the target's life. The Naraka path, Hell Realm, or Jukikodo, grants the user 2 main abilities. One is interrogation while the other is restoration. The user can summon the King of Hell to interrogate targets or the target lies. During the interrogation, it will be consumed by the demon head. If the target then tells the truth, it will be spared. The user can restore any living beings back to its normal state. For example, if a person loses a limb, the user can have that person eaten by the demon head, and after a few seconds, he will be released with the lost limb back. The Petra path, Hungry Ghost Realm, or Gakaido, grants the user to absorb any ninjutsu-based technique. The Petra path can also absorb a target chakra through physical contact. Lastly, the Outer path, or Gedo. The Rinnegan user is granted the ability to revive the dead. Reviving the dead requires a huge amount of chakra. If the chakra is not enough, then the percentage of the user's life force will be consumed instead. Naruto finished the book and took another one. People who have the Rinnegan are believed to be very powerful being and will bring peace to the world. Only Hagoromo or Suzuki have been able to unlock the final form of the Rinnegan. Having unlocked its true form means the prophecy of the fate of the world has started that is related to the Jubi. The Rinnegan passed down to his descendant looked purple with rings pattern on it, while the final form has 6 tomos added with the eye. The prophecy is believed that when the final form is once again born with the world, the Jubi will be reborn as well and must be stopped. It is also possible that the Jubi will be reborn first and will be followed by the Rinnegan's true and final form. During the War of the Gods, Hagoromo had already unlocked his Rinnegan form in final. When the Jubi came to Earth and started rampaging, Naruto noticed the book was rather short. He felt that there should be more information about the Jubi and the Rinnegan's final form. He decided that maybe he could find more information from the books. Next, he took a book that looked like an ancient and was blooded. He opened it and saw the pages were blank. He then checked over the first page and noticed writings on it. Reader, if you are able to read the writings on this page, then that means you are my descendant. You are about to read and learn the secrets of the Uzumaki clan. In order to be able to read these contents of these books, you are required to perform a bloody contract seal. Follow these hand seals required and use the kunai that will appear. Wound yourself and let your blood stain the cover of the book. 3 droplets will do. Next, sign the second page with your name using your blood. Write your name on this book means that you agree to keep your information that you will learn from people outside the Uzumaki clan. This book has been seals that updates itself of the current events about the Uzumaki clan, meaning that even it is past my timeline, the important events will continue up to the current date will be automatically written. Another seal applied on this book will produce a copy for the one who signed it. Receive this gift, for you are an Uzumaki and deserve to know about our clan. Become stronger, descendant. Show the world the power of our clan. Nito Uzumaki. Show the Uzukage and founder of Uzushio. Naruto felt excited and checked his surroundings to see if nobody was watching him. He then followed the hand seals that were written on the book. Uzumaki's secret, blood seal. Discerning of the ancient secrets, Naruto shouted as he slammed his hand on the book. Soon a kunai appeared and he went to make a gash on his palm. He let 3 droplets of blood splatter on the book cover. Next, he went to the second page and noticed a lot of names. He recognized some of the names who have signed it. Kaide Uzumaki, Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, Nagata Uzumaki, Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze, Minako Uzumaki Namikaze, Miho Uzumaki Namikaze, and lastly, Mio Uzumaki Namikaze. He then signed as his name under the last Uzumaki signature, whose first name was Karin. Soon the book glowed and a few seconds later a copy of it materialized besides it. Naruto checked the copy and read. This book is the property of Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Naruto then closed the book and decided to read it back inside his bedroom later. He then set the original aside and grabbed another book. The next book was about the tail beast and the Jinchuriki. The book was only published 2 years ago. He scanned and wrote down the important information on this notebook. Jinchuriki, or human sacrifice, are the vessels of the tail beast. They are often despised by their villages because of their power, and in fear of them releasing the beast sealed inside of them. Jinchurikis normally live an awful life, and most of them live their lives in seclusion. Beasts or tail beasts are very huge amount of demonic chakra. There are 9 tail beasts known in existence, counting from 1 to 9 tails. Villages usually seal them inside humans to keep them from rampaging around or to simply make use of their power for military purposes. The one tail or the Ichibi is a raccoon and has the power to create magnetic forces, control and manipulate sand. The Ichibi, having the least tails of all beasts, is considered the weakest. It has been in possession of Sunagakure and had been sealed into many different peoples, but there had been always a problem. The Jinchuriki of the Shukaku are usually insane because of the priest who tried to seal it inside him before. The two tails or the Nibi is a cat and has the power to produce the blue flames. It has been known to be in possession of Kumogakure, to have been treated their Jinchuriki in good ways, unlike the other villages, as their Jinchuriki have been always a relative to the Raikage. The three tails or the Sanbi is a turtle and has the power to create corals and can swim at high speeds underwater, known to be possession by the Kirigakure. The four tails or the Yonbi is a gorilla and has the power to produce lava by combining fire and earth elements. It has been last sealed inside the shinobi named Roshi, a former Iwagakure nin who now lives in isolation. The five tails or the gobi has the head of the dolphin and the body of a horse. It has the ability to use steam by combining the nature elements fire and water. It has been last sealed inside Han, also a former Evanin, and has followed his fellow Jinchuriki Roshi's life, who left the village and lived away in isolation. The sixth tail, or the Rokubi, is a slug that can release amount of toxin acid. It used to be in possession of Kirigakure, but its Jinchuriki have been declared as a missing nin. The seven tails, or the Nanabe, is a horned beetle that can produce silk or cocoon that are chakra threads. Using its wing, it can also emit blinding powder and naturally has the ability to fly. It has been in possession of the Takigakure, the only village that wasn't one of the great five nations who possessed a tail beast. The eight is or the Hachibi has the head of a bull and the body of an octopus. It can produce ink and also use its head to ram targets when charging. It has been in possession of Kumogakure and has been sealed into six hosts. Its host of the moment is Killer Bee. The Raikage's brother is the only known Jinchuriki who has fully control of his beast. Killer Bee is also known as the Perfect Jinchuriki. He is believed to have befriended the beast sealed inside of him and can assume the Hachibi's tail beast form without losing consciousness. The nine tails or the Kyubi is the strongest of the all tail beast as it has the most numbers of the tail. It has the power to detect negative emotions and regenerate quickly. Also, it has the ability to use and produce firefox, one of the strongest kind of fire that can even overpower the Mangekyo Sharingan's Amaterasu. Konoha is known to have the Kyubi in possession. Jinchuriki also acquires the same power of the beast that is sealed inside them. They also gain the huge amount of chakra that the tail beast have. Naruto finished the notes and decided to look on the other books to find out more about Jubi and the reading, and finding no more important information, he decided to call a librarian and told her he has finished reading. Do you have any more books about the Jubi and the Rinnegan final form? He asked, making the librarian assistant widen her eyes. I'm not sure, Naruto-sama. Those books I presented to you were the only ones I know of that were related to those topics, but I'll look for other books for you. Although I should tell you not to expect. Okay, thank you, miss. I guess I'll return here tomorrow and see if you had find anything. Also, can I take this home with me? Naruto asked, presenting her a book about Konoha and the Kyubi. Of course, Naruto-sama. Just sign here about and be sure to return it within 3 days. Naruto signed on the book borrower's list and was going to leave when given a seal. What is this? This seal will glow when your 3 days time limit have been consumed and will remind you to return it here. Thank you, I'll be sure to return it. The woman nodded as the young hare walked off back to the mansion. Naruto was back inside his room and immediately read the book about Konoha and Kyubi. The Kyubi's second or former Jinchuriki was Kushina Uzumaki, a Konoichi from Uzushigakure that is now destroyed. The Kyubi managed to escape during its host giving birth. Jinchuriki's seal were known to become weakened whenever the host is pregnant, and in weakest when giving birth. Someone unknown managed to enter Kushina Uzumaki's secret labor room that day and tried to interfere, therefore unleashing the Kyubi out of the woman. The unknown assailant immediately left when he realized that the demon had been gotten away. 16 years after, the Kyubi made its reappearance to Konoha by attacking it after destroying a percentage of the village and killing many. Konoha managed to reseal it inside a human being. It was the Yondam Hokage who did the sealing using the Shikai Fujin or the Dead Demon Consuming Seal. Sealed the demon inside a newborn child. The process cost the Yondam life and the Sandam was forced to resume his position as the Hokage. Naruto immediately stopped reading and he felt his heart beating fast. He also shaking as memories came back to him. Die, demon. You killed our Yodam Hokage. Jinchuriki or human sacrifices are the vessels of the tail beast. They are often despised by their village because of their power and in fear of them releasing the tail beast inside them. Jinchurikis normally live an awful life, and most of them lived their lives in seclusion. Naruto-kun, forgive me as well. It was my fault. I was the one who sealed. He sealed the demon inside a newborn child. The process cost Yondam life. The boy was now crying as realization hit him. Now he knew why Konoha hated him. The boy cried even more as past events back in Konoha returned to his mind and started to haunt him. He remembered every beating and torture he endured during his prison in that village. For the first time, he felt sadness. For the first time, he felt anger. For the first time, he wanted to hurt someone so badly. He wanted his revenge on those who did bad things to him. His blood began to boil as bad memories continued to haunt him. He began to lose the capability of thinking rationally as his mind became clouded and he felt hell-bent on killing a lot of people. The only thing that his mind was telling him was to kill. Uzukage's office. The Uzukage was talking to the council and was briefly briefing them on the events earlier. She was just telling them about Sonogaka's approval to send the Uzukazekage's children to Uzushio when she felt a huge chakra spike. Everyone's eyes in the room widened as they recognized the chakra. The chakra was pure evil, and huge waves of it was being radiated throughout the village. Kushina and Minato immediately realized what was happening. Is that murmured by one of the council members. Naruto, the parents shouted as they felt an even bigger danger blast of chakra. Roar was heard. Everyone in the village stopped what they were doing as they felt waves of demonic chakra coming from the Uzukage's mansion. A mighty roar was heard. Immediately, members of Storm appeared everywhere, telling and guiding the villagers to head to the underground bunkers immediately. Uchiha Madara! The voice shouted as they saw a figure of the child quickly changing into a figure of the fox. Soon it grew as a skeleton formed next to skeleton form flesh, and in a few moments the Kyubi no Yoko once again stood in its full glory and might. Once again everyone stopped dead on their tracks and what they were headed. It was also the first time they heard a tailbeast speak, or rather shout, Konoha, you will pay, burn! As he roared again, the fox roared and it made its way away from the village and headed off to the direction of Konoha. In another part of the village, shinobi gathered around the Uzukage and waited for her orders. Let Tobi help! Let Tobi help! For Tobi is a good boy, someone shouted. Everyone turned and saw the former Uzukage walking on their direction with a masked man who was jumping frantically. Let Tobi help! Tobi knows what to do, the masked man said as everyone stared at him with wide eyes, their eyes in shock. The man had Sharingan on and it looked different from their normal ones. A Sharingan? Who is this man? And why is he with Arashi-sama? Why does he have a Sharingan? What is an Uchiha doing here? Why does his Sharingan look different? Is that the Mangekyo Sharingan? Most of the shinobis thought to themselves as they stared in confusion at the weird man. Tobi, no, get away from here. If he sees you, he will no doubt attack you. I can't risk you dying. The Kyubi stopped its march as it sensed familiar presence. Its eyes searched the village and rested on the spot where a huge number of shinobis were gathered. Uchiha! As the beast roared, this is not good. He has sensed you, the former Uzukage told his companion as the Kyubi let out an angry roar. Oh shit, the bad fox has sensed Tobi. Tobi must run now, because if he does not, Tobi is going to die. The masked man screamed at the top of his lungs as he darted away from harm while waving his hands in the air. What the fuck? Most of the shinobis who were watching shouted in their heads. They immediately regained composure and stood in attention, waiting for orders. Tosama, the Uzukage, regarded her father. What are we going to do? We can't just attack it, as it might hurt my Naruto-kun. Keep it away from the village. Lead it to the shorelines. I want ceiling barriers waiting there and already set up to keep the Kyubi from going outside of our protective seals. It will eventually lose steam and Naruto-kun will regain consciousness. Trust in Naruto-kun. I'm sure he will be able to control the Kyubi. Now go! Everyone nodded as all of them headed for the shorelines. Minato went after the Kyubi to lure it or to harshen it to the beach to keep the village from getting destroyed. Tosama, who was that man? Why do we think he has the Mangekyo Sharingan? Tell me I'm wrong, please. What was he doing here? And why is he like that? Did he hit his head or something? Tobi is a good boy. I'll tell you about him later. Arashi chuckled as they followed to the shorelines. Minato's POV. Minato immediately went after the masked man to assist. He rushed past the Kyubi and got to Tobi. Tobi, we need to lure the Kyubi to the shorelines. The others are setting a trap there and away from the village. The masked man stared at Minato in surprise as he was addressed. He then got over it and nodded. Tobi is going to lure the bad fox to the trap because Tobi is a good boy. Tobi is a good boy. Minato nodded as they went to the shorelines. The next good news, the village was safe from being destroyed by the Kyubi. The bad news, Minato was recognized by the Kyubi and it also went after him. It was you who released me. The Kyubi inside me, the Kyubi roared. Minato noticed the two voices. Me? How did my son know? Did someone tell me? You and Kachan left me to suffer in Konoha. You let them take me. Now I know why everyone treated me so badly. It was you who did it. I know you are an Uchiha. I can see your fucking eye. You are related to that bastard who controlled me. I'm going to kill you. You left me alone. The two voices and personalities were trying to overpower each other and speak. "This is all your fault," it roared and cried. At the same time, Minato could hear the agony in his voice. He was certain now of his son's knowing everything, but now he found out. How did he do that? He did not have any good idea. Normal POV. Everyone in the village could hear its rambling. They felt quite sorry as they knew the youngest heir was somehow conscious and was currently feeling a lot pain and hurt in his heart. Kushina heard her son throughout the QB and also felt heartbroken. Her Naruto blamed them for what happened to him. Of course, he had every right to be angry at them, as she knew she should have looked for her son when he was kidnapped. Minato felt his heart like it was being squeezed. He felt very guilty for being the cause of his son's awful life in Konoha. Both parents blamed themselves for what has and what was currently happening to their son. They felt how much hurt he was. Minato stumbled and thankfully Toby was able to catch him. The masked man helped him run towards the shoreline. They were almost near. They reached their destination and Toby guided the blonde and let the man hug his wife. "This is all my fault," Minato and Kushina both said as they bowed their heads low and cried in shame. The former Uzukage, seeing how low and broken his daughter and his son-in-law at the moment were, took charge. "Here it comes!" Arashi roared. The QB found its target and let out another roar. It went at them, charging fast. "Seal! High! Uzumaki style! Enclosure of the file elements!" All of the shinobi roared as they activated the trap. 5 different beams of chakra shot to the sky and immediately connected to each other and formed a pentagon prison and held the demon fox inside. The cubit tried to run past it but found itself it couldn't. It roared in frustration and charged at the barrier. The ground shook as the barrier shook. Still, and the QB, Noyoko, remained inside. It continued to rampage inside its cage and tried to escape. Naruto's mind skipped. Naruto was hunched into a ball and was still crying. He stopped crying for a moment as he felt cold and thought he heard his cries echoed. He looked up and found himself inside an enclosed forest. He felt scared as he had no idea how he got there. "Where am I?" he sniffed as he walked around the forest trying to find another life form. He saw a pathway and followed it. He walked for about what seemed to be 10 minutes and finally saw a clearing. At the far end, he saw a golden cage that seemed to be 70 feet high and 100 feet wide. On its gate was a red tag with the kanji for seal on it. "Whoa," was the only thing he said as he marveled at the huge cage. "Hello? Is anybody here?" "So my jailer finally graces me with his presence," booming voice said. Naruto jumped in fear as he was startled and found the voice dark and heavy. Who is there?" Naruto asked nervously as he heard footsteps approaching. You're the... His voice was lost as he was now staring at the giant fox with 9 tails. The fox slowly roared as its tails went swishing around. Light of the cage illuminated the fox, allowing the boy to watch it in its glory. Beautiful. Wow, you are so beautiful and awesome. Naruto squealed in amazement. He had stars in his eyes as he stared at the fox with an adoring look. The QB stopped trying to intimidate the boy and was now very confused on how he was acting. He tilted its head and examined the boy. Naruto found the fox more adorable as it tilted its head in confusion. "Beautiful? You find me awesome? The great and fearsome QB no Yoko is found beautiful and awesome by a 5-year-old boy and is not even intimidated at all. Look at him, everyone. He got stars in his eyes," the QB said as it sighed, totally forgetting about trying to intimidate the boy, seeing it was useless. "But you really are beautiful. You look magnificent with your tails swishing around. It's freaking awesome," he said as he incautiously entered the cage. The boy tried to touch the fox while it crawled menacingly at him. Naruto failed to notice it as he was too starstruck by the QB. "You are an odd human. Didn't you know that?" it asked him softly, the intimidating voice gone, now replaced by a warm and beautiful voice. "What the?" Naruto said as he watched the QB slowly shrunk. Soon he was staring at a beautiful woman with long red hair and captivating eyes. Did you just..." The boy stuttered. His eyes widened as he noticed the woman also was not wearing anything. You're... The boy did not finish his sentence as he fainted. His cheeks were red from blushing. "Now that's cute," the vixen commented as she picked up the boy and walked to a nearby tree. She sat down and rested the boy's head on her lap. "I'm not getting dressed. If he keeps fainting like this, you must imagine me wearing clothes first. This is his mindscape after all, she muttered to herself as she waited for the boy to regain consciousness. What? Naruto shouted as he realized he cannot see. Shh, relax, it's just my hands. I'm covering your eyes. You will probably faint again if you saw me. Now imagine me clothed before I let you see me again. Okay. Naruto said as he imagined a woman wearing clothes. Whoa, wait, not orange. I'm fine with a simple white kimono. Not your orange jumpsuit, huh? But you said to imagine your clothes. Yeah, I did, but not orange. It's horrible. It doesn't complement my hair. Okay. Now that's better. Thank you, the woman said as she let the boy go again and see her. The boy took his surroundings and realized he was resting his head on the woman's lap. She was now wearing a white kimono as he imagined. Okay, so wow, you are a female. I didn't know that. That's awesome, I guess. But the question is, who are you really? Me? I thought you already figured it out. I'm Kyubi no Yoko. I know that already, but who are you? What is your name? You cannot be just called Kyubi. Yeah, sure, you are the fox with 9 tails, but that's just your title, right? You got to have a name. So what is your name? You really are an odd one. You are the first human who asked me for my name. What? So people just refer to you as the Kyubi no Yoko? The human sadly nodded. The boy went to a sitting position and hugged her. It's okay. You can tell me your name. The blonde said as he showed the redhead one of his foxy grin. The woman finally smiled. You are a good person. I can see it in your well. I've been living with you ever since you were born. So yeah, should I tell you my name? You seemed polite enough, so I guess it won't hurt telling you my name since you asked me nicely. Kurama. My name is Kurama. She smiled at the boy warmly. Nice to meet you, Kurama-chan. I'm Naruto. Kurama just smiled and nodded. Can I ask you something? You already did. But sure, ask. How did I get here? Where am I? You don't know yet? Oh, right. This is your first time. We are inside your mindscape. You see, your pent-up negative emotions finally reached its limit and you sort of exploded. Right now you have achieved my nine-tailed fox form and are currently rampaging. What? Naruto looked horrified. How do I stop it? I need to wake up. There's nothing you can do. You need to let it all out. If you don't, then you will die. I am also the embodiment of fate, you see. One of my powers is detecting negative emotions. You have lots, and so do I. Both our anger, sadness, and resentment have combined and ultimately caused you to lose consciousness while your body transformed into the QB. The boy just nodded sadly. Great, now Uzushi Okakure will also think of me as a demon. They will treat me just like Konoha. I don't think they will. You see, your parents and your village loves you. They understand your pain. It is just normal for a person to let loose for time to time. She said as she heard his thoughts. How? We are in your mindscape. I can hear what you are saying in your head. Oh, what are you feeling at the moment? Sad. Betrayed. Kurama just nodded, encouraging the boy to talk more. Although I try to forgive them, in the back of my mind, I just can't. They abandoned me. And now that I know why Konoha hated me, I blame my father for everything. The redhead felt guilty. She felt she was the bane of his existence. I'm sorry, this is all my fault. No, it's not your fault. I do not blame you for what happened to me, the boy told her sternly. What? But something tells me you two were just also a victim. I don't know how, but I can tell you are innocent. I do not blame you for being sealed inside me. You don't? Kurama felt like she wanted to cry and hug the boy. Of course not. You are my friend after all. I trust in you. All you have to do is prove it. Friend? You consider me your friend? Of course, we are friends. Now I knew it was you who kept me from dying. I haven't thanked you for that yet. So thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for being there with me. Kurama felt speechless. The boy didn't hate her being sealed inside her, nor he didn't blame her for what happened to him. He did the opposite. Naruto thanked her for being there for him, being with him. We will be here for a while. You have a lot of anger to left out, so I would like to show you something. I think it's the least I can do, and since you asked for it, I'm proving my innocence to you. I know you're a good person, Kurama-chan. Naruto smiled at her. Kurama did not miss the person and the chance suffix. He's treating me like an equal, like a person himself. He really is different from the humans. Well, most of them, she thought to herself as she nodded to Naruto. Let me take you back in time when Uzushi and Konohagakure were newly founded, anime style. Flashback no jutsu. Newly founded Konoha, my friend, there is no need for violence. We can just ask them to ally with us. Hashirama, they rival us in power. Some say their clan is even stronger than both our clans combined. They must be destroyed before they go stronger. Madra, your judgment is being clouded. Think this over. I will talk to you again once you have cooled down. Hashirama said as he walked away. No, not you too. Why does everyone contradict me? Even my clansman does. Not even listen to me anymore. 2 hours later, Uchiha commanded, my Barton, we must revolt. I already told you before that the Senju will someday overthrow us. This is called peace in temporary. Madara said before his whole clan, we cannot do that. We have been warring with the Senjus for 100 years. Now that they have called for our battle to stop, we cannot just go back to our former state. We cannot let them regime forever. It should have been us who leads the Konoha. But we do lead Konoha with the Senjus. No, we don't. It should have been me and Uchiha who became the Shodai Hokage. There is a reason why we Uchihas, your own clansmen, voted for Hashirama for the position of the Shodai. The Senju wanted peace while you want war, but we Uchihas also want peace. There will be no peace forever. Just so you know, Hashirama plans on allying with the Uzumaki clan. If that happens, they will be stronger and our clan will be oppressed in future. You are being paranoid, Madara. No, I am not. I just want what is best for my clan. Let us say we agreed to revolt. Then what? The Senju allies with the Uzumaki. The Uzumaki clan is far stronger than both the Senju and Uzumaki clans combined. We challenge both clans, then the Uchiha will be slaughtered. We do not stand a chance at all. You will only lead our clan to its end. Madara was feeling downed by his clansmen more and more, but he still tried to convince them. My people, you forgot that we have eyes that can take down a whole nation. We do have a chance to defeat them. For we have this, Madara proclaimed as he flared them his Mangekyo Sharingan. We do have the Mangekyo Sharingan, yes, but we still do not stand a chance against the Uzumaki. They are direct descendants of the Rokutai Sanin. I would not be surprised if the Uzumaki clan wielded the Rinnegan. This is only a myth. It has not been proven by anybody. Nobody alive has ever seen the Rinnegan. Only the Sage of the Six Paths himself wielded it. The Uchiha clan will discover about the Uzumaki clan's secrets. If they really did wield it in terms of peace, rather than see the Rinnegan used by them in battle, we are not going anywhere with this. This meeting is pointless. We will not revolt. We will keep our peace with the Senju. We will not wish for our clan to be put to a meaningless slaughter. Uchiha Madara tried to convince his clan every 2 consecutive days, but his clan still would not listen to him. Finally, he gave up on his third attempt to talk to them. A week after his last talk with Hashirama, Madara finally decided to leave the village. He has cut his ties with the Uchiha clan at Konoha. Since nobody would listen to him, he planned to destroy the both Senju and Uzumaki clan. He felt betrayed by his own clan, and so he hated his clansmen for it. They too will pay for their insubordinations, and he was the Uchiha clan head, but they do not longer listen to him. Madara had been a missing link for 2 weeks now. Back in Konoha, the Shodai Hokage Senju Hashirama had begun the negotiations with the head of the Uzumaki clan. The negotiations were almost complete, as soon Uzushi Ogakure will be allied to Konoha. Meanwhile, Madara finally found a way to annihilate both clans. He was wandering off while training and stopped on a nearby cave to take some rest. He then heard low growling sounds inside the cave. He went to inspect and found the thing Hashirama had failed to find. Madara found the Kyubi no Yoko. He watched the giant nine-tailed beast sleeping peacefully. Who would have thought I would be the one to find it? And to think that no one ever did when it is inside the far country's borders. Madara thought to himself as he applied chakra in his eyes and activated his Sharingan. The Kyubi felt an intruding presence and opened its eyes. Its eyes found a man with long black hair wearing a red battle armor and a sword-like battle staff on the back. The Uchiha fan. The man had red eyes with 3 tomos on it. So an Uchiha graces me with his presence, the Kyubi muttered. On this day forth, I am going to be your new master. Don't make me kill you. Leave now, while I'm feeling merciful. You are the one who is going to be in my mercy. The Kyubi rose and angrily roared at the intruder. The audacity of the man. How dare him? He took in the man's features and memorized. Know your place, demon. Remember this. I, Uchiha Madara, am your master. Mangekyo Sharingan. Go to Master Kami. The last thing the Kyubi remembered seeing before its lost consciousness was a pair of red eyes with a star-like formation on them. The three Thomas evolved. Go to Uzushio Gakure and destroy the Uzumaki clan. When you are done, attack Konoha Gakure next. Madara commanded. The Kyuubi threw his thoughts. The Kyuubi roared and left the cave, heading out to comply his master's command. No, I cannot be controlled by a mere man. The Kyuubi thought as it tried to fight, but its mind and body won't respond, and it still moved to the followed the Uchiha's order. Later that night, the Uzushio, Mito Uzumaki, the Shoda Uzukage, was awake and was watching over her village when she felt an evil presence. Something or someone with a heavy huge chakra was approaching fast. Mito alerted the village and called for her subordinates. I can sense something with a huge chakra amount approaching fast. Alert the village and escort everyone to the safe houses. I want every shinobi available. Follow me to the shorelines. We will meet the intruder there. Hi. Soon the sounds of the sirens woke the whole village, and Genin escorted them to the safety. The higher-ups went after their Uzukage to assist. As they were preparing, they heard a loud and angry roar. What the hell is that? Uzushio shorelines. Mito Uzumaki stared at the sea as she felt the huge chakra signature approaching fast. Soon she was met with a giant fox with 9 tails. A roar was heard by it. What the hell? The shinobi that gathered shouted in unison. Is that the Kyuubi? Do not let it get past the shorelines. It must not reach the village. Uzukage ordered. Sealing teams. Here it comes. Sealing teams, get ready. Uzushio style. Enclosure of the 5 elements. The shinobi roared as they trapped the Kyuubi. Hold still. It's going to break free. Ugh! The people screamed as the Kyuubi shook the ground. It thrashed wildly inside its trap, causing some of the captors to lose balance. It's out! Battle formation! Wow! They screamed in pain as they were swatted like flies. Charging towards the village. Everyone cleared the way. You have done your duty. Leave the battle to me, Uzumaki Mito told her shinobi as her eyes turned purple and rings pattern formed on it. Everyone immediately got out of the way as they realized what their Uzukage was about to do. Bansho Tanin, the Uzukage said as she raised her hands forward and opened her hands, showing her palms. An invisible force forced the Kyuubi to stop its charge. Roar! It roared in anger as it was halfway dragged and floated back to the shorelines. Everyone watched the battle in amazement as the Kyuubi was dragged towards the Uzukage. The leader sidestepped as the Kyuubi nearly neared her to avoid getting hit. It hovered about their Uzukage for a moment before she called on another jutsu. Shinra Tensei. The Kyuubi was sent back thrashing to a sea. Mito went after it and quickly made a hand seal. I will not let you destroy my village, she declared as she finished her seals. Senpo, Myojinmon, Sage Art, Gate of the Great God, Seal Hand. A huge red torii fell down from the heavens and pinned the Kyuubi to the ground by neck. Seal 10. 10 more tories fell down and landed on each tail. Then, last landing on the top of the body. The Kyuubi was now pinned to the seafloor and unable to move. Uzumaki's secret blood seal, double hexagon consuming seal. 6 pillars appeared, forming a hexagon prison seal, trapping the Kyuubi inside. Another prison appeared and connected to the Uzukage. The Kyuubi was slowly sucked by the hexagon and transferred to the other that was connected to the Uzukage. It gave one last hateful roar before it was completely sealed inside the woman. If you use your power, only hatred will come from it. Stay tranquil deep inside me, Mito told the beast that was now sealed inside her as she headed back to the shore. The scene became disrupted and abruptly ended. Flashback and whoa, what happened? Why did we stop? Something has happened outside that interrupted us. Outside the mindscape, the Naruto transformed into Kyuubi was still rampaging inside the pentagon strap. The ground shook as it attempted to get free. Ashura-sama, it's going to break free. Why do I feel like this as a deja vu? The former Uzukage thought as his eyes changed from color and became purple. Kushina looked at the former Uzukage in time and realized what her father was about to do. Tosan, please don't! You're going to hurt Naruto-kun! The barrier shattered, and before the Kyuubi could realize it was free again, Kushina rushed in front of it. Kushina! Uzukage-sama! Everyone shouted in concern as they watched the woman in front of him. Naruto-kun, please come back! Come back to us! Come back to Kachan! She sobbed and begged the creature in front of us. Everyone nervously watched their Uzukage as she was completely vulnerable. The Kyuubi also stopped thrashing and stared at the woman in front of her. Kachan! He growled slowly. Naruto's mind escaped. Kurama and Naruto watched what was happening outside. Naruto's mind. It would seem that you are starting to calm down now. Kachan! We'll continue watching the memories later on. Outside Naruto's mind escaped. Kachan! It repeated, and then it roared again, angrily. You abandoned me! You left me in Konoha! Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry. His mother sobbed and fell to his knee. Please come back to us. Let us fix our mistakes, Minato said as he appeared beside his wife. Naruto-kun, Kushina still wept. It felt like an hour, and it only been 3 minutes have passed before the QB-fied Naruto finally calmed down. His body releasing steam had slowly shrunk. A few more minutes passed. They were now staring at a blond child with his skin very bloody. The boy's skin also released steam as it got healed and returned to normal. Naruto-kun! Minato and Kushina shouted as they rushed to catch their son. Kushina quickly took her son and cradled him into the Naruto-kun. I'm so sorry, Kushina murmured as she stood up, carrying her son's unconscious form. The parents saw and now noticed their son was still clutching a book. Minato took the book from the boy and inspected it. He found out it was a book about Konoha when the QB attacked. So this is how he found out. I thought someone told him. He figured it out by himself, Minato murmured and showed the book to his wife. Let us go back to the village, Kushina told him. She then turned to her shinobi and addressed them. Return to the village and inspect for damages. Half of you remain here and check the village protective seal. See if there are any leaks. Hi. Minato vanished in a yellow flash and now stood there behind Toby, a kunai on the masked man's neck. Ugh, let go of Toby. Toby's a good boy. Minato, calm down. He's not that man, Arashi told him. We'll explain everything about him later. The blonde let him go and put his kunai back into his pouch. The four people plus one unconscious child went back to the village. Back to Naruto's mindscape. Hello Kurama-chan. Welcome back, Naruto. Now let's continue. Flashback no jutsu 18 years ago, outside Konoha's secret location. A shout was heard. Push! I can see the head! Again, a shout was heard. Both Minato and Kushina shouted. Minato shouted in pain as his voice gripped his hand while Kushina screamed on giving birth. A little more! Push! I'm going to kill you, Minato! This is your fault! Kill him later. Push! She's almost out, the midwife said as Minato paled even more. Oh! Minato screamed. One last push, please, Kushina. As Kushina screamed, as a baby's crying was heard. My baby, Kushina cried. Narumi-chan, she murmured. Minato massaged his hand and went to his wife's side, but before he could, he felt an incoming presence. What a loving family, a voice said. Everyone turned and saw a masked man with his eyes visible. He wielded the Sharingan. How fortunate would it be if someone killed her? The man said as he appeared beside Kushina and grabbed the baby. He threw it across the room. No! Minato rushed to catch his daughter. Minato was able to catch his daughter as he held her, while some burn marks on his back. He winced as he heard a roar. The QB is going to break free. Kushina, wake up! You need to keep it inside. Minato frantically shouted to his wife, who was now unconscious. You bastard! How dare you try to kill my granddaughter? The midwife roared in anger as she immediately appeared behind the man and punched him with her superhuman strength. The man was sent flying into the wall, and the wall got blasted away as the man collided with it. He had no choice but to battle with the angry woman. Meanwhile, the room was already collapsing because of the ongoing battle. Minato was carrying Narumi in his arms while the nurses helped move Kushina back onto the room. They cannot do anything about the QB now, as the Jinchuriki was unconscious. They rushed back to Konoha's cage and was immediately helped. Minato, what happened? A pale man appeared. Orochimaru, sensei. A masked man appeared after Kushina gave birth. He released the QB from her seal. He is now battling with Tsunade-sama. I'm going to assist my team. Take care of the two, Minato. Orochimaru arrived at the birthing place and found it destroyed, turned into a battlefield. He just arrived in time to keep his teammate from being killed. The masked man was about to finish his teammates. Senai Dajishu, multiple striking shadow snakes, he shouted as snakes shot out from his arm and attacked the masked man. The mask got hit in the neck and was thrown away from the woman. He was unable to dodge since his body was all banged up. He had multiple cuts and multiple broken bones. You are lucky today, Konoha. I will return, the masked man proclaimed as he vanished in space. Tsunade, the pale man rushed to his teammate. My daughter, Kushina, my granddaughter Narumi, promise me. Keep them safe, the woman told Orochimaru before she lost consciousness. Orochimaru carried the teammate and rushed her to the hospital. The QB ended up escaping during the battle. It turned out that it was under control by the masked man, but lost control of it when he battled the very angry midwife Tsunade. Because of the man messing up with technique, the Sozo's Hase ended up in a coma. The doctors were able to identify that her body was forced to do and undo the kenjutsu multiple times before she got her chakra drained, making both her mind and body weak and put in a death-like state. 14 years later, Konoha Hokage was Minato. You cannot just leave Konoha, you are Hokage. But Saratobi, Uzushio Gakure is under attack. I need to go there to help my family. He tried to argue to the old man, but he just got out of the room. Don't worry about it, Minato. I'll convince Sensei. You see, you may stay here. Thank you, Orochimaru Sensei. Minato said as Orochimaru went after Saratobi to convince him and gather reinforcement to send Uzushio. Outside the office, Sensei, we need to help our allies. No, we'll only get on the way. The reinforcement we send will be killed. There are too many enemies. We can't and won't stand a chance. But they are our allies. No. What the hell are you talking about, Sensei? What is wrong with you? You know what? I don't care. I'm going to Uzushio Gakure with or without your help. I'm going to assist our allies. Orochimaru yelled as he stormed off. Saratobi just watched the pale man walk off. We cannot let him waste his life for those people. They will be all dead before the day ends. Said a new voice. Danzo, order your route to stop my student from leaving. As you wish. The Warhawk nodded as he signaled from the hidden route. A route member appeared in front of the Ning. Danzo-sama, Saratobi-sama, Fukaku-san has arrived with a child. Good. Take us to him. Outside the far country, the masked man who attacked and vanished 14 years ago had already made a full recovery. He went on the lookout for the QB and was able to find it after searching. And so we meet again. You! I will kill you! I'm your master. You will follow my orders. It roared. Mangekyo Sharingan, Kotsumatsu Kabe. No! Not again! Become a useful servant, demon. Go to Konoha and destroy it. 6 hours later, roars were heard. Ah! The Konoha shinobi screamed before they died. Some were crushed by the Kyuubi's paw. Some were killed by its claws. Some died getting hit by or cut by it. 100 bodies now lay dead on the streets while buildings were on the fire. The populace also losing morale and many were starting to give up. Root base. We will use this child. This thing will be our future weapon. He will be able to survive the process. He is an Uzumaki, just like the Kyuubi previous Jinchurikis. Let us talk to Minato about using the Shikai Fujin. His sacrifice will be for Konoha, and we will get rid of that man. Fukaku cast a Genjutsu on this child, so Minato would not recognize it. Ironic if he agrees to it. He will seal a demon to his own son. Orochimaru is still locked up in prison. Even if he manages to escape, it will be too late to save his precious student. Konoha Forest, the shinobi were able to drive the Kyuubi away from the village. They regained hope when their Yondam Hokage finally showed up. Yuchisei no Jutsu, what the hell did you call me for, brat? I demand 100 human sacrifices for this. Manda, I need your help. Why the hell am I sitting on top of the Kyuubi? Do not argue, just help me. Damn it. Minato, the only way to defeat the Kyuubi is to seal it inside a human. Use this child. What? Whose child is this? We do not know. A woman just gave this child to us as a few minutes ago. She said this child is an Uzumaki survivor from the attack. Survivor? What of my family? I'm sorry, Minato. Orochimaru managed to persuade me and we sent reinforcement after we talked, but they were too killed. The woman told us this child was the last living Uzumaki. The blonde Hokage froze in horror and grief. The child before him was the last Uzumaki survivor. His family was dead. He was the only one left. He immediately fell into depression. The Sandime and the Warhawk used his depression to manipulate him. We are sorry for your loss, Minato. That sounds suspicious. That Kaki looks exactly like Minato. Didn't he have a newborn son? What if that's him? Yes, this child got to be his son. The snake boss thought, as he was not affected by the genjutsu that was cast on the child. It is the only way, Minato. My family is gone. Who will I live for now? The blonde Hokage completely lost. Mangekyo Sharingan, Fukaku whispered. Seal the Kyuubi inside this child. Minato just blankly nodded and took the infant. Oh, brat, what are you doing? You can't just seal the child into your son. How did the snake know? We can't let that thing hinder our plans. The snake need to be dismissed. It will only interfere with our plans. Danzo thought as he glanced at Fukaku, signaling him to do something. Minato, dismiss your summon. The blonde Hokage just nodded as he dismissed Minato. Something is very wrong here. Why is Minato's eyes blank? Is he under control? Shit! He is, the snake thought before he could try and wake his summoner. Minato dismissed him. Good. Now seal the Kyuubi inside your son. Shikai Fuyin, no! I'm not getting sealed again, the Kyuubi angrily thought as it regained consciousness from being controlled by the man. The Shinigami appeared and did the ritual. The Kyuubi was sealed inside the child, just as when it was about to drive Minato's soul, the man regained consciousness. What happened? Wait, Why is the Shinigami here? Okami, I sealed the cube inside the innocent child. He thought as he got the memories earlier while he was doing controls. He sealed the cube inside his innocent child, but there was nothing he can do. Saratobi, I want this child to be treated as a hero. I want him to be treated Konoha. I want him to be treated by Konoha as a hero. He's the one who defeated the Kyuubi. This is my final wish as Hokage. Minato told the old man as his soul was trapped to the stomach of the Shinigami. Flashback and Naruto was speechless after watching the memories. Naruto, are you alright? The boy was once again crying. Kurama tried to comfort the boy and hugged him. Shh, it's alright. You've been controlled. And my dad too. And my family was betrayed by who they believed their allies were. I didn't know. And I was angry at them. Now they probably hate me for what I've told them earlier. Your parents won't be angry at you. They understood your pain. They love you. How? What do you mean? How were you able to do it? You said you were able to embodiment of hate. But you do not look hateful. How did you overcome it? I am not sure. There is something in you. Before you got here, I always thought of murdering you the first time you visit me. But when I saw you, I just felt a calming presence. You felt so warm and friendly and full of life. I do not understand. I was inside you. I saw everything you've been through, but you still kept moving forward. I think it is your happy and positive personality, your forgiving side, possibly. I do not understand. I am not actually happy. That was just a mask. I hated Konoha for what they did. I hated myself for being not able to defend myself. I hated my parents for abandoning me. That was your other side. You see, everyone has two sides, the bright side and the dark side. Your past experience in this life put you through a lot, and most were bad. It has piled up and your dark side is showing you that it has overpowered. Now you are combined with your dark side. Our negative feelings and emotions piled up high and merged, causing you to channel my dark side chakra and transform into Kyuubi. How do we overcome it? How can we not pile with that hatred? Love, Naruto. It's love. Let me tell you something I've heard from your great-grandmother, Mito Uzumaki. When she was too old and needed to transfer me into another vessel, she told your mother this. We came here to be the vessel of the 90s, but before that, we must find love and fill the vessel with it. When your mother became the Jinchuriki, she was always able to suppress her rage. She was always fighting my dark side. I'm not comparing her to you, okay? I just want you to understand the power of love. Naruto, you have a lot of people around you who loves you dearly. Use it. Make it your power, your motivation. Remember what you told your parents? You wanted to become a shinobi so that you could protect those who are precious to you? That is love, Naruto. Having someone to protect will drive you to become stronger. I see. Love. It is. The boy whispered. He was still trying to comprehend what Kurama told him. They were silent for a few minutes. Kurama-chan, you are innocent. What? You are innocent. You did not mean to attack Uzashio Gakure and Konoha Gakure. You are being controlled by the time. Yes, I was, but humans thought I was attacking them on my own will. I will tell them you did not. I will tell them you were controlled. I am going to prove your innocence, Kurama-chan. You would really do that? Of course, we are friends, right? Friends. Oh, okay. Yay, we are friends, the boy cheered. Thank you for sharing with me those memories, Kurama-chan. I'm going to take a rest now. I feel like my head's going to be explode anytime soon. The boy tried to excuse himself as he felt troubled by his transformation earlier. Kurama did not notice the boy's conflicted look. Come visit me again whenever you feel like it. You're always welcome here. Having you around makes me feel good and warm. Will do, Kurama-chan, the boy said as he vanished. You may be just like father. He treated us tail beasts as beings and not some evil creations. You understand our feelings, just like the Rokudo Nasani. I will expect great things from you, Naruto. In time, things shall be revealed, Kurama thought to herself as she smiled. Outside Naruto's mindscape, a day had already passed since the cubified Naruto rampaged. He was still bedridden and his parents were now worried. They haven't left their son's side since yesterday and forgot about interrogating Toby, the good boy for now. Minato has still didn't left his side, nor did Kushina. Minato-kun, he still hasn't wakened up. Naruto-kun will be fine. Our son is strong. He is just resting. I believe that was the first time he got access to the Kyuubi's chakra, and he did transformation into the Kyuubi itself. Just then they heard their son whimpering. No, please don't hurt me. It was an accident, the boy cried as he rolled in his sleep. Please, I didn't mean it. Don't be like Konoha. I'm not a demon. Naruto-kun, Kushina immediately rushed beside her son and hugged him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please don't hurt me. The boy continued to cry in his sleep while he shook his head. Naruto, please wake up. This is not true. We do not hate you. Please wake up. Kushina said as she gently shook her son, trying to wake him up. Naruto woke up from his nightmare and realized his mother was hugging him. Kachan, Dochan, the boy said weakly, his parents looking at him and found him finally waking up, and he looked very miserable. Naruto-kun, shh, it's okay, don't cry. I'm sorry, I did not mean to get angry. I'm sorry, please don't hate me. The boy backed as he cried into his mother. It's okay, Naruto-chan. We understand. We do not hate you for what happened. I was angry at you, at everyone. I did not understand. I did not know the truth. But now I know. I'm sorry. His parents were a bit confused with his words, but decided to ask him later on. Shh, it's okay. It's alright, Sochi-kun. Kachan loves you. Tochan loves you. Your siblings loves you. Uchiha Gakure loves you. We know everything you have been through. We understand your pain and your pent-up anger. You will not be hated for transforming into QB. It is normal for a person to be angry and explode at one point. You have been through a lot. Love? Naruto whispered. Yes, Naruto. Love. We love you, Naruto-chan. Kushina said as she kissed her son's forehead. Naruto nodded and later he fell asleep again. He's still tired, Kushina-chan. I'll be going out for now. I need to speak with the council. His wife nodded and he left his son. Kushina laid her son to the bed and cuddled with him. Soon, she too fell asleep. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out.